There are 5 sheaths or 5 layers to every human being. And the process of going beyond these 5 layers and the process and the framework of understanding the 5 layers and understanding who we truly are is called as Pancha Kosha Viveka in Vedanta. This is the discrimination of the 5 sheaths. Today, we will go deep into a very special text by Adiguru Shankaracharya, which is Tattva Bodha, and through a process called Pancha Kosha Viveka, we will understand the nature of reality and we will go beyond our limited identifications and realize the infinite nature of the self. The Adhvaitha channel is about conscious living and conscious creation. Here we explore Vedanta and various spiritual teachings from ancient India to understand the nature of reality and to consciously create our life. So make sure to hit like and subscribe to our channel to help us spread this knowledge. Now Adiguru Shankaracharya's works are the foundation for Advaita Vedanta. And one of the very popular works of Adi Shankaracharya is Tattva Bodha. This is a foundational text to Advaita Vedanta which introduces a seeker to basic terminologies, to fundamental concepts that one needs to understand to get a grasp on Advaita. And today we are looking at one small aspect of Tattva Bodha, that is Pancha Kosha Viveka. Here Adi Shankaracharya explains us that there are 5 sheaths or 5 layers which is associated with Jiva, and this is what we identify ourselves with. But in reality, our true nature is beyond these layers and it is something else altogether. So let us understand all this by the end of this video. Now the first layer is Annamaya Kosha or the food sheath. This is the physical layer, and there are 3 bodies in Vedanta which are associated with the 5 koshas. First of all, there is Sthula Sharira, that is physical body, which is associated with Annamaya Kosha. Then there is the subtle body which passes on to a different physical body at the time of death. And Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha, these 3 layers are associated with the subtle body or Sukshma Sharira. And then there is the causal body, and Anandamaya Kosha, the sheath of bliss, is associated with the causal body. And coming to the Annamaya Kosha, the physical body, this is the body which is obvious to us. This is the body that we can see, that we can touch and that we can experience. This is the body made of blood, bones, tissues, different physical organs, etc. And this is our anatomical system. This is the layer made of food, and hence it is the food sheath or the Annamaya Kosha. The second sheath is the Pranamaya Kosha, the energy layer. Now this physical body needs energy to function. It needs a certain source of energy, and this energy is Pranamaya Kosha, and this is our physiological system, and this is made of 2 parts. One is energy and second is tools of action. The energy is the Pancha Vayus, the 5 kinds of airs that function within our system and keeps everything alive. And the 5 tools of action are the Pancha Karmendriyas. These are our limbs, etc. And this Pranamaya Kosha is said to give Kriya Shakti to the Jiva. The Kriya Shakti is the power to act. This is because of Pranamaya Kosha. We can understand this with a simple example. At the time of death, people donate different organs, and the organ that is donated starts functioning for a different physical body. Now what happens here is that at the time of death, the subtle body disassociates itself with the physical body, and the subtle body is made of the 3 layers of Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha and Vijnanamaya Kosha. Whereas the physical body or Annamaya Kosha will be usually intact, especially for younger people. And the organs of these systems can be used for a different physical body. But since the energy is not there within the physical body, the person or the jiva is not alive with that physical body, although the jiva is very much alive as the subtle body. This is how we need to understand the layers. In the third part, let us look at the Manomaya Kosha or the mind sheath. This is very simple to understand. The emotions that we go through, the belief systems that we hold, various feelings that we feel every day, this is happening at the level of Manomaya Kosha. This gives us Ichcha Shakti, the power to desire. And it is said that Ichcha Shakti is greater than Kriya Shakti. Ichcha Shakti is the power of desire and Kriya Shakti is the power of action. And our actions are motivated by our desires. Hence, Ichcha Shakti holds power over Kriya Shakti. And Manomaya Kosha holds power over Pranamaya Kosha and Annamaya Kosha. And this Manomaya Kosha is again made of two parts. One is the mind and another one is the Pancha Jnanendriyas or the five sensory organs. These are our eyes, our skin, our nose, our ears, etc. The fourth part is about Vijnanamaya Kosha or the intellect sheath. This is the cognitive personality or the knowing personality. This is the knowing principle in us. There is something which intellectually thinks about different concepts. Right now I am talking about a certain subject and something within you is intellectually trying to conceive it. It is trying to understand it. This is the intellect sheath, the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Now the Vijnanamaya knows, the Manomaya desires, and the Pranamaya and the Annamaya Koshas act. Here we need to understand that the decisions that are taken from a higher perspective and from the higher layer are always better. Those who are addicted to alcohol or junk food, they listen to their bodily instincts. They look at something and immediately a strong desire rises in the Manomaya Kosha. And they don't try to intellectually decipher the situation. They immediately act and they immediately unconsciously get into those patterns of behavior. This is not sustainable and this is not good for us. It is important to take decisions from a higher perspective. Let's say in the same situation, if we take some time and listen to the intellect which knows what is good for us and what is bad for us in many cases, not in all cases, then that decision that is coming from the intellect will be better than the decision that we take because of our desires. And again, this Vijnanamaya Kosha is made of two parts. One is the Pancha Jnanendriyas again, and second is the intellect, which is the controller of our lives in many cases. And in the fifth and the final part, let us discuss Anandamaya Kosha or the bliss sheath. This is our unconscious identity. This is the bliss body, but this is where avidya lies as per Adhvaitha Vedanta. At this deep level, we are identified with our own system and we are separated from that infinite pure consciousness. And the best way to understand this bliss sheath is through deep sleep. When we go to sleep and when we are at deep sleep or sushupti, there is no activity of the mind. All the other layers of being, all the other sheaths are inactive except for the bliss sheath. Here, the unconscious identity still remains, but we are in absolute bliss and we are unaware of the external circumstances. This is where the Anandamaya Kosha is active. Now, coming to the important part, the Pancha Kosha Viveka tells us that although there are these five sheaths that are associated with Jiva, if we go into self-inquiry and if we look at our own experiences, we are none of these layers. What we are is beyond any of these layers. Shankara tells us in Tattva Bodha that by understanding the 5 sheaths, we must disown them and realize we are not these limited elements. And Pancha Kosha Viveka shows 5 points of error where we identify ourselves with. And by negating them and disassociating the I from these sheaths, we realize our infinite nature. To understand this, you can just close your eyes and just try to still your mind for a second and just go beyond thoughts, even if it is for just a second. For that fraction of a moment, we can feel that witness that we actually are and that consciousness which is free from conditioning. And these tiny moments are very accessible to regular meditators. Now, according to my understanding, these tiny moments of stillness, which many of us experience during meditation or during contemplation, is who we truly are. And the goal of spirituality is to expand this and to experience this permanently as who we truly are.